And let's go right now to someone who was also in that meeting, Congressman Rich McCormick of Georgia and member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Welcome to Greg Kelly Reports, sir.
Thanks. Good to be with you.
So, Congressman, where do we stand? Was there some progress made tonight? Will we see a speaker on Tuesday holding that ever important gavel?
I'm praying that we do. I think we're all worn out. We're a little bit raw. We had a lot of feelings hurt in the last few weeks. A couple things are happening that are kind of sorting things out. We think that there's obviously people who are in leadership that will get a lot of votes. You can make a case for Tom Emmer, but can he get consensus? That's always been the question about leadership. You have people like Byron Donalds, who's extremely well-spoken, who's extremely popular with the House Freedom Caucus. Can he get consensus? That's what's really important. Several people who have never really been involved with other people's candidacies, who've never really been involved with the being public with their opinions. They're just not going to have the same kind of pull with those people. And I think the dark horse to look after would be Hearn and Johnson. But I think Emmer's going to be the initial leader. And the question is behind closed doors, hopefully, so we don't have to go and listen to more things about Jeffries in public and make shameful remarks in front of each other. I hope we get it settled behind closed doors before we go forward with a consensus.
With everything going on in the world, we need strong leadership. Now, Congressman, you know, a lot of people are blaming Matt Gaetz. They blame him for this speaker vacancy. I want you to take a listen to what he said following tonight's meeting just a few moments ago.
We had some great candidates in there, and we'll go from this current group down to our designee, and I hope it's a productive endeavor. There might be one or two who had plans that I think were pretty inconsistent with where I think Republicans can go if we want to be a fighting force, but I'd say by and large we had really great candidates, and I'm pretty confident that the person that comes out will be able to put it together.
What do you think about that?
Well, we'll see if he decides to vote along with everybody else once we come behind closed doors. I agree. I think we have a lot of good candidates. I think we have a lot of good intention in there. The question, once again, is what about those holdouts on whether it be the Main Street folks or the House Freedom Caucus people? Can we get a consensus cabinet going forward? Now, the one thing you brought up earlier was the energy policy. We've already passed energy policy in the House. We've also passed a southern border policy. It just needs to be picked up by the Senate. A lot of things that we're arguing over that they say we're paralyzed at the House. We pass those things. Senate, come to the floor and actually do your job and pass those things so we can get on with life on things we already have consensus on.
And speaking of the energy policies and the sanctions on Iran, what can be done? What can House members do? What can Republicans do to stop this insanity? I mean, the fact that they're just getting richer and richer by the day. And meanwhile, Joe Biden has declared war on the fossil fuel industry right here. We have all this oil in the ground and we're buying it from our adversaries.
It's what I've told my kids all along. You're only responsible for your own actions. We've done our part. We know that good energy policy actually leads to a stronger United States, a cleaner environment. It disempowers countries like China who have ill intent and who pollute more than anybody else. It makes sure that we're in a position moving forward where people actually can feed their families and get to work, do all the things they need to do. And this whole idea that global warming is caused by carbon emissions alone, I keep on going back to science. I'm an ER doc. I'm an aviator. I've done some scientific studies. But 0.04% of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide. Of that, 11% of that is from humans. Of that, 14% is from the United States. Of that, 29% of that is from the entire ability to pollute from transportation, which includes ships, airlines, cars, you name it, airplanes. And think about that, how minute that is. 0.000168, I think is what it comes out to. Mm-hmm. That's what you're going to spend $1 trillion on just to ruin our economy? Are you kidding me? Let's get real and have a good conversation.
Right. And Congressman, switching gears to the Hamas attack on Israel, as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee and former Marine and ER doctor, very impressive resume there, by the way. I want to play for you a moment from Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, what he said yesterday.
Could we see similar actions if we see Hezbollah or we see Iran start lobbing missiles towards Israel? I mean, are we effectively ready for air cover for the Israelis?
John, what we're focused on currently is making sure that we're providing the security assistance that Israel needs to defend itself.
Very wishy-washy there. What do you think, sir?
Just say it. Be strong. Say, yes, we're going to defend Israel. We've already done it. We've defended them from places from Yemen and Syria. We're ready to go to war. We're doing our part. Now, we don't want to put our ships our personnel in direct harm's way. But we're already shooting down missiles that are coming from all over the place. Obviously, we're concerned about Hezbollah. We're concerned about folks coming from Yemen, munitions from all over. They're sponsored by Iran. We need to have serious, consequential conversation about what we're going to do with Iran, because they are a problem all over the world, especially in this area.
It is really frightening what's going on in the world today, and it could have all been prevented. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let's hope by tomorrow night that someone will finally hold that all-important gavel.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Absolutely. Amen. All right. Who is